scared of you.
Why are you scared of me?
I've seen you like really go hard at people.
That's true. Okay, fine. I'll go hard at you.
No,
then.
no, I was kidding.
You have Hakeem Jeffries. You have Chuck Schumer, all friends of Wall Street, friends of big tech. These guys won't even endorse Mamdani. Are they the leaders the Democratic Party need at this moment?
They are the absolute antithesis of what the Democratic Party needs right now.
Do you think it's the donors?
It's the donor class.
You take Iraq, you take the financial crisis, the crash in 2008, and you're creating a toxic brew for a populist to run on as an anti-establishment guy.
100%. And then you kill Bernie. This is absolutely a genocide.
Child killed
this
every
is
hour.
A famine, a genocide, ethnic cleansing.
Where people tell you, I would love to speak out like you, Mark,
yes,
but I won't get another role again.
There's that fear. And then I spoke out, and I got attacked in a way that I did not think was possible. If you take the truth and you bury it, put it in a box and bury it in the ground, it can't help but explode one day.
We're like facing fascism.
We are facing fascism, and they're acting like this is just another...
I gotta write a sternly worded letter.
Sternly worded letter. Ah!
I'm Mehdi Hassan.
And I'm Mark Ruffalo.
And we're not kidding. The Zateo podcast where I get to talk to funny people, artistic people about serious things and funny things, I hope. Mark, welcome to the show.
I'm glad to be here, finally.
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 You know, I had to go back and check. You know, I interviewed you in October 2020 when I launched my MSNBC show at the time. We were remote, it was pandemic.
Yes.
5 years later, finally got you
for
a sit down. You and I have talked online, we've texted back and forth late at night about the future of our crazy country, and finally we got in person here in New York. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. I'm scared of you.
Why are you scared of me?
Because I've seen you like really go hard at people.
Well, why would I go hard at you?
I don't know. You should go hard at everybody.
That's true. Okay, fine. I'll go hard at you.
No, I was kidding.
No, seriously though, I am restraining every fanboy impulse because you are a lefty, you're a progressive, you are pro-Palestine.
That's right.
And you're an Avenger. So it's like the trifecta for me.
Good.
I'm like, be still my beating heart. Right? Here I am. So I'm not going to be a fanboy. We're gonna talk.
You can fanboy.
Although actually, you've been quite a good fan of ours. You've been
I
a
am
great
a huge
supporter
fan
of Zateo.
of yours.
When we
From
launched
the beginning.
Zateo, you are what I think the kids call a day one fan. Right? When
That's
we launched,
me.
I appreciate you. When we launched,
before you started Zateo, I was a big fan.
no, I appreciate that. But when we launched, it was a big thing for us. It was like 4 of us launched a media company.
Look at you now.
And look at us now. You said, I went back and checked. You tweeted us on the day. It was so nice. You said, I was hoping for something like this. No more censorship, journalism at its finest. I think we can agree the censorship's gotten worse since then.
Not for you.
Not indeed.
No. And I think that people are flocking to. I mean, I think that people are really responding to that. I mean, you've launched this thing. It's a
year and a half. Year and a half.
Yeah.
Less than a year and a half,
I mean, did you ever expect it to do what it's doing?
I'll be honest, no, not where we are now. Thank you everyone at home for watching the podcast, subscribing. Here we are sitting down with Mark Ruffalo, talking about politics, chewing the fat. Before we get to news and heavy stuff, got to talk about Task.
Yeah.
Task is your new show. Mark's in a new show.
Which isn't heavy at all.
It's very light and whimsical.
Right, yeah.
It is very heavy. Right?
Yeah.
It's Brad Inglesby. It's the guy who made Mayor of Easttown,
That's right.
which is a great show with Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
We all watched that show with her hilarious accent. We'll talk about your accent in a moment.
Okay.
But just give us the elevator pitch to people who haven't seen it. What is Task?
It's really a cops and robbers show. It's a basically garbage men hitting drug houses and ripping off drug dealers.
But not you. You are?
No, and I play an FBI agent who's on their tail. And there are these parallel stories running throughout this investigation. But also you see 2 men who are dealing with really just heavy family issues. And loss and blue collar, being a blue collar American and the struggles of that, and how law enforcement sort of comes up against like real human beings and decisions that they
real
make.
communities.
And real communities.
You are fantastic in it. And I'm not just saying that. It is.
Thank
I was
you.
watching you thinking, okay, this is a very different role for Mark that I've seen recently.
Yeah.
You're a cop. You're an FBI agent who was a priest beforehand.
That's right.
And I just wonder watching that. Are you a man of faith? I don't know.
I don't want to say I ascribe to any particular faith, but it's funny. I was raised in a household that had Catholicism as an Italian American. Then my grandmother, my mother became evangelical Christians. Okay. Jimmy Swaggart saved me.
Okay.
And my father was a Baha'i.
Oh, interesting.
And so I had basically almost the entire Middle East in my family, and the conflicts of those religions. Honestly, of all of them, and I was steeped in them. I went to Sunday school. I went to Bible study.
You know your Bible.
Yeah, and I also went to Firesides, which is the Baha'i version of communion, of community, of fellowship. And the one that resonated the most with me and felt the most honest and the least hypocritical were the Baha'is.
Wow.
And that if there's a religion that I relate to, that's probably the one that I relate to the most.
Which was your father's religion, you said?
Which is my father's religion.
You play a priest who's now FBI agent, and this is interesting. So, looked at some of your roles.
Okay.
You were a defense attorney in Dark Waters.
Yeah.
You were a reporter in Spotlight. You're a US Marshal in Shutter Island. You're an FBI agent in Now You See Me. You're a detective in Zodiac and Collateral. You like investigating stuff on screen, don't you?
I really do.
You do, don't you? Getting to the bottom of things.
I keep coming back to it. It's funny because we just did a reading of All the President's Men for a fundraiser.
Oh, wow.
And actually Rami was in it. Rami played Bernstein.
Oh, fantastic. I can't wait.
It was amazing.
Did we get to see it, or was it like a private thing?
There'll be a stream of it at some point here. But I remembered seeing that movie as a kid and being like, this would be the most exciting, other than being maybe a soldier or something as a young person, this would be the most exciting job because you're like unrest, dangerous.
And you did Spotlight, which is a true story,
yes.
Of course.
Those true stories they're great.
But I love the fact that lefty Mark Ruffalo is defined by being an FBI agent often on screen.
I know.
Also, in Task, it's set like Mayor of Easttown.
I keep thinking, why do they come to me?
They come to you
because I was running from the police as a kid.
All right, do you want to tell us one of those stories?
I was just a ne'er-do-well kid.
A ne'er-do-well. So this is set, the show, in kind of suburban Philadelphia, in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. Delco, which has renowned for its particular accents, I think it's fair to say. Was it harder doing the accent for this show or being the Hulk in Avengers?
Doing the accent for this show.
Is accent hard for you? Some actors love it, some struggle.
Yeah, that's probably not my forte. I'll never forget, after Poor Things, I sat with an English journalist. He's like, where did you get that accent? That's not, where'd that come from? You're not doing a very good British accent. And I said, well, how do you know he's British?
You're just taking a shot at something.
Totally.
Oh my God.
But the character's the
character's a great character.
He's such a phony, that character. So
I was a fan of yours before you were in the Hulk, but once you became the Hulk, my whole family all became big fans of yours. The way what you brought to that role, I think people have loved it over the years. You've appeared in a lot of movies. I believe you're going to be appearing in the next Spider-Man movie as well. That's what I'm hearing.
I can't confirm or deny it.
Okay, you can't confirm or deny it. Well, that's what I'm reading. What I'm reading is that the Hulk may be making a comeback in Spider-Man Brand New Day next year. You are a Marvel elder statesman. What is your favorite part about being in Marvel movies, apart from the endless fame and wealth and getting to play a superhero on screen? Apart from all of that, what do you love about being in Marvel movies?
Those are the least favorite parts.
Oh, yeah.
Just having the continuity. As an actor, you're kind of familyless. You're going from one extreme situation to the next. You make these tight knit groups and then you break apart. And rarely ever do you have the kind of continuity that you do.
Over a decade or more.
Yeah. Right? I mean, I never thought I would have a real legit steady job.
This is it. Being an Avenger is your steady job.
It is. It's my steady job.
What do you do for a living? I'm the Hulk.
And not only that, I mean, I also have a very short attention span. And so, So the other great thing about it is each movie you do is kind of a different universe. It's especially if you're working with different directors, because what I love about Marvel is they really do let the director sort of create a whole nother world. So you go from Avengers to like Thor Ragnarok.
Very different, like a comedy.
Extremely different.
What do you make? I know you've been asked this before, but I feel strongly about this because people often say to me like, "Oh, what do you do to relax and switch off?" And I'm like, I watch Marvel movies, I watch Jason Statham movies. Like, and I appreciate them; they have their role. But then there is a kind of snobbery. You know this. You're in films that have been up for awards, and you're in Task, which I'm sure is going to walk away with a lot of awards. Serious, heavy stuff. But then you also do Marvel. Then you have kind of what, you have the Martin Scorseses of this world saying like, it's not real movies. Like, what is someone like you who does do real movies? What do you say to that?
I don't know. It's acting to me. It's all filmmaking
and storytelling.
It's storytelling.
Yeah.
And I came from the theater, and in the theater, no, you're never plugged into a genre. You're always free in the theater. You could do a comedy one season and then a drama, a melodrama, you could do different styles. You could be doing farce, Moliere, Shakespeare, something modern, gritty. And so there's never that kind of buttonholing that happens. And so I just see it as acting, and storytelling. And I like to do it all. I don't give a shit.
That's the right attitude.
I really don't.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't care. I mean, this is it, man. We got one shot at it. I'm gonna please myself as far as my art goes,
And you look like you're enjoying it, both on set and off.
I'm having the best time, and I love it, and I love the crews. I love the whole culture of it.
And for people watching who are not Marvel fans, first, sad for you. Second, it is hard to explain to people who are not Marvel fans what it was like sitting in Endgame and watching Cap say the line. Like you watch those YouTube videos of the crowd going nuts, or when the hammer goes up, like all those moments, or when you turn up in the original Avengers and say, "I'm always angry." Like those moments for me are just great moments of entertainment. There's some stuff I will fondly remember in decades to come.
For all of the criticism that we might get from some of the highbrow directors, I have never sat in one of those movies where I've seen people literally screaming, crying, beating their chests. I was in I went to see Avengers 2 with my son.
The weakest one.
Yeah, no, Avengers 3. Actually.
Oh, 3. Age of Ultron. Not the best one.
No, but it was Endgame.
Yes,
and literally when that movie ended, I was and I went with my son to just no one knew who I was. I had a hood on. I was just low in my seat. I was with a bunch of these.
Can you imagine if people around you known that the
no
Hulk was sitting in their room?
They had no idea.
Oh,
right?
I would have gone mad.
And at the end of the movie, they jumped up. They were on their seats. They're like, "Start a riot! Start a riot!" They flipped out.
You were there with your kid?
Yeah.
What do your kids make of you being the Hulk? Were they into comics, Marvel?
When they were young, yeah. It was like the greatest thing in the world when they were young.
They were like happy. Like I can imagine my kids rolling their eyes if I told them I'd just been cast as a superhero.
Oh my God, I'd love to see you as a superhero. Have you ever thought of acting?
I did used to act.
Of course you did.
As a kid in school.
Was that part of your drama? I mean, part of your debate?
Yeah, a little bit.
It is.
I think so.
It is.
When I did Hassan Minhaj's show, Hassan's been on this show, sitting where you sat.
Yes.
But when I went on his YouTube show, there you go. You can never wash your butt ever again. When I did his show, he pulled out a Few Good Men script because I write about in my book, talking about how when I was in school, I had to perform the Jack Nicholson scene and the Tom Cruise scene alone. And he made us do it on screen. And people would message me and say, "Oh, you can act." I was like, I actually went to school with Riz Ahmed, who's also not sat in that seat, but been on this show. Riz and I went to school together. And I always say to Riz, like, you got to go and make superhero movies and do films with Kate Hudson, and I got to cover Donald Trump for a living. That's where I
see there's a lot of crossover happening now.
Is there? All right.
I'm putting in a good word for you. I'd love to see.
All right.
I would love to see
in that Spider-Man movie that you're not in, if they're looking for us extra, like a random guy in the back.
No. You need a scene.
I'm your guy.
I'm your
guy. I'll be doing the news saying the aliens have invaded. Look, since we're in Marvel mode, forgive me, I'm going to be fanboy and do a quick rapid fire.
Okay, let's do it.
We're going to do a quick rapid fire.
All right, I'm not very rapid, so.
I'll make you rapid. Remember, you're scared of my interviewing, so I'll make you do it.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. Who wins in a fight between Superman and the Hulk?
Hulk.
Rapid, Mark, rapid.
Hulk.
Who wins in a fight between the Hulk and the Red Hulk? The legend
Hulk.
Harrison Ford loses to you. Don't we love Harrison Ford?
No one beats the Hulk.
Not even the Red Hulk?
Not even the Red Hulk.
I do love Harrison Ford, though.
I love
Two of my
Harrison
favorite people
Ford.
play the Hulk.
I
and
love
Harrison Ford.
Ford.
I love Harrison Ford. Do you see the world through the eyes, ideologically, politically, do you see the world through the eyes of Captain America or Iron Man?
Captain America.
Okay. Would you rather have a time stone or a mind stone?
Time Stone.
Okay, good answer. That's what I would do. Would you rather hang out with Deadpool or Wolverine?
Wolverine.
Oh, interesting. Chris Hemsworth or Chris Pratt?
Hemi.
Wakanda forever or Asgard forever?
Wakanda forever.
Okay. If you, Mark Ruffalo, not Bruce Banner, had to choose, would you rather be blipped away or survive the snap?
Survive the snap.
Really? Really? Isn't blipping just easier? You're out, you're in, you don't feel anything, you haven't gone through trauma, you haven't been mourning for 5 years.
No, this is the whole reason we're here, is this whole experience.
Yeah, the tragedy.
It all. Because the tragedy doesn't just come by itself.
That's such a better answer than mine. I'm lazy.
What was yours, baby?
I'll be like, blip me away. I don't want all the pain and suffering of losing my family, like crying. Like that scene.
I know.
That scene, by the way, you talked about the movies of Marvel. That scene where Hawkeye at the end loses, that at the beginning of Endgame, when you see what people, I was crying, everyone was crying.
That audience was crying.
I mean, that loss that you see that then they take over into the TV show. Last quick question. If you could play any other person in the Avengers movies, who would you look like to have been if you'd been cast in any other role?
Oh, that's hard. Wolverine.
Really?
He's not an Avenger, though. I mean, it's in the universe.
Can I see you as a Wolverine? Yeah, maybe.
Could you?
I'm being polite now.
I when I was a kid, that was my guy. It was Hulk and him.
So could you get ripped like Hugh Jackman?
Probably not. Not.
I think you'd say probably. You could just say yes. We'll never know. It's a counterfactual. We'll never know. Of course.
Are you joking?
You could do it. You could do it a couple of nights with a trainer. You'd get those pecs.
Just some push-ups, sit-ups, and
all right. Let's take the Avengers and make it serious and say, given the shit show our country and our planet is in right now, what kind of I'm not even a superhero. What kind of character from the Avengers movies or from the Marvel universe does the world need right now to fix so many of our problems? And please don't say Thanos.
It needs all of them. It needs every super. I mean,
like in Crisis.
Look at where we're going. Each movie, we're adding more and more, fighting a bigger and bigger villain. You know, what's interesting about these movies is they, in some way, they do land on what's happening. So it's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah.
And I do think it fits into this, like, we're hardwired for gods and monsters. Like, literally, this is the same. This is why we created the gods. This is why we have mythology. You know, that was our need that came from deep within our hardwiring. Yeah. And I feel like the Marvel's tapped into that.
Yeah. And the current political situation has unfortunately helped.
Yes. And it's sort of, it's in a dialogue with each other. And
something very different to Marvel, The Boys on Amazon. Have you seen The Boys?
Yes.
I mean, Homelander, Trump. I mean,
oh my God.
And they think, the MAGA people think Homelander's good.
A hero.
Like, they dress up as Homelander, not realizing that these mocking you.
Send up. It's a complete mock. But look, they think
just amazing.
Thanos is good. They think Darth Vader's awesome. I mean,
That's true.
You know.
Remember in the first term when Jared and Ivanka showed a picture of like kids dressed up as stormtroopers? I was like, that's too on the nose.
I know.
What are you doing to your children?
Like, who would put their kid in a stormtrooper?
Especially if you're a Trump family member. I know. And then share it.
They think that's awesome.
They think that's awesome.
They think the Death Star is dope.
There are some environmentalists who think what Thanos did is the right thing, maybe.
Why didn't Thanos just snap and make enough food for I mean, if he could do anything. Why not?
Why half the planet?
Yeah.
So random.
Yes. Why half the world? Why half the universe?
Yeah.
Why?
So random.
Why not snap and make abundance for everybody?
Did you see there was a great like academic paper written about if the snap was real, how would it work when they all came back? Because you wouldn't have enough food or resources for like billions of people arriving back in the world. And what would happen to people who like remarried in the process and that their spouse turns up again and they got two husbands?
That's incredible.
All the things you need to think about when you're doing a Marvel movie.
I love some. Was that someone's thesis?
That's like someone wrote. I read it like a few years ago, like a serious paper. Scholarly people like how would we have abundant resources where when people come out farming would have been geared for because the planet would be geared for a smaller population and all that stuff. But we're in a real shit show. Before I get to that, I got to ask. where do your politics come from? Like, you are a very political person. You don't hide it. You're out there on social media. You're at protests. Where does it come from? You mentioned like your family, your parents. Does it go back to your childhood? Where does it come from?
Some of it comes from my dad, who was very much a humanitarian kind of. My dad, we had a painting company, and he was a foreman, and he would always side with the union against his own family, and he got in a lot of trouble for that within our family. Honestly, what I took from the religious teachings that actually moved me were the idea that we had to fight for the people who had less, and to love our brothers and our neighbors, and the idea that you sacrifice for the greater good. Like, those are all concepts that I learned as a boy that really resonated with me. There were the mystical parts of this ideological, dogmatic, religious teaching. And watching the degradation. I lived on Lake Michigan when I was a kid, and we saw that lake was so polluted that the fish had cancers growing as you saw them swimming. And there was an environmental movement that started at that time. And I saw that lake get cleaned up within 4 or 5 years.
So you thought it could be done?
So I saw it could be done.
I read somewhere that in 2008, you were worried that gas companies were scoping out your land, your family's land in Calicut, New York. And that's what led you to become the very famous, people knew you first for kind of anti-fracking.
Yeah, I was living in the gaslands, the sacrificial zone for, the American fossil fuel industry. And I went to a meeting with a bunch of people from Dimock, PA. It was with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., by the way.
Oh, back when he was a good guy.
When he was a good guy. And he was in there talking to these people who had all their medical records in their hands, saying the state has turned its back on us. The federal government's turned its back on us. Our water's poisoned. We have all these diseases and illnesses that we have no way to account for. Our air is poisoned. Do something. And he said, well, I don't know what I can do, but I do think the gas is a very good thing. And then come to find out, he was invested in natural gas at the time. Oh, so They turned to me. They're like, who are you? What are you? Can you help us? And I went home that night, and I ran out of there.
Who are you?
Yeah. And I was like, who are you?
You didn't say, I'm the guy from 13 going on 30.
Yes, I'll do the Thriller dance for you. And I did have to say, who am I? Am I really who I say I am? Yeah. Am I going to help my neighbors? Is this that teaching in action? Love thy neighbor, treat them like yourselves. Am I going to help my neighbors, or am I going to fuck off like everyone else who showed up there? And I
stuck around.
I stuck around.
And people know you for your environmental activism well before anything else.
That's where it really started for me.
I remember when I reached out to you for MSNBC, a lot of the thing was about climate at the time.
Yeah.
We were heading into a, re-election then that Trump lost back in the day, and I want to talk to you. I mean, you were so strong on the environment. Back in 2016, you narrated and produced a documentary, Dear President Obama, The Clean Energy Revolution Is Now. I mean, criticizing Obama is proper lefty credentials. Some people tried to whitewash the Obama record. You know that his record wasn't so great in many areas.
No, it was not. Even coming out of the Iraq War, and I have to say, I was a hardcore peace demonstrator. I was anti-war, especially the Iraq War.
You marched. I marched. I marched in the UK. You marched
in
the US.
I was all over that thing, and to see Obama come in and not hold any of those people accountable. I mean, we're talking war crimes here, solid war crimes. By the way, it's the same people. The same people who are dragging us, who have continued Gaza, and who have brought us to this place, are the same people who are for the Iraq War. We keep giving these same people a chance after the
Obama said, we've got to look forward, not back. Isn't it funny? He comes in and goes, we've got to look forward, not back. Donald Trump comes in and he's like, I'm going after all my enemies. Republicans know how to go after people. Democrats are always like, let's brush it under the carpet. Let's move on. Let's be friends.
Let's do what's politically expedient.
Yeah, and easy and not painful.
But what we did is we set up our country for absolutely no consequences.
Agreed.
For actions.
And in fact,
with politicians.
Donald Trump wins because there's no accountability for Iraq. People forget that Iraq plays a role in Donald Trump.
100%.
Donald Trump in 2016, I was recently on The Breakfast Club, I made this point to Charlemagne. Donald Trump in 2016 goes up on a debate stage with a bunch of Republicans and he says to Jeb Bush, well, your brother was there when the Twin Towers came down. Your brother did Iraq. You gave us endless wars in the Middle East. And the crowd are cheering. And I'm sitting at home thinking, Republicans are cheering this? He saw that. He took advantage of that.
He did.
And of course, Hillary, his opponent in the general, was still weighed down by her support for the Iraq war. So Iraq played a role in where we are today.
Oh, absolutely. And one day we'll all always be against this. You know, it's the same story. Yeah, it's the exact same story. And it's the exact same people. But what the American public knew was that war was completely amoral. After half of them were chomping at the bit to go after anyone, and it just became bloodlust, like we saw happened here.
Yes.
And so they lost credibility because the American people had moved on. And the American people knew that Iraq was bullshit. The American people knew it was amoral.
And that they'd been lied to.
And they've been lied to.
You take Iraq, you take the financial crisis, the crash in 2008, and you're creating a toxic brew for a populist to run on as an anti-establishment guy.
100%. And then you kill Bernie. Then you kill Bernie. You kill any kind of talk of socialism, which is what the antidote to populism is.
Yeah.
It's what FDR knew.
Yes.
Okay? It's how FDR fought it and won. You kill that within the Democratic Party, like we're seeing happen with Mamdani right now, and Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. Okay,
yes.
You kill that language, you kill that possibility, and what does the American people have left but populism? And so where do they go?
What kind of populism is it? That's the thing. Is it
Fucking
right-wing populism?
Yes, the kind of
Like
populism that others people,
Yes.
that creates white nationalism, that I mean, it isn't even these people are getting screwed.
Yes.
The mega people, for anyone who's left there, they either are completely like out of it and don't watch the news and aren't paying attention to anything, or they're so ideologically twisted and part of this cult that they've deceived themselves beyond. But I can't see how long that's going to hold.
I think we live in, unfortunately, because of social media, he can create that echo chamber that they stay in. So Epstein files are not released. They're fine with it. Tax cuts to billionaires, not fine.
No,
they're
he's
fine
a hero.
With it.
He's an FBI informant.
FBI informant, according to Speaker.
Working for the FBI.
That's your next role.
Undercover.
That's your next FBI role.
Undercover to infiltrate the Epstein world and save democracy.
Mark, that's your next role. If Sebastian Stan, if the Winter Soldier can play Donald Trump, Mark Ruffalo can play Donald Trump as an FBI informant.
I already did.
Uncovering the pedophile scandal in this country.
I did it in Mickey 17.
So the key point, as you're pointing out, is there's this anger. The Trump knows how to channel it. The left could have channeled it through Bernie. They could channel it now through Mamdani.
Yes. They're
choosing not to. Instead, you have Hakeem Jeffries, who Charlemagne calls AIPAC Shakur. You have Chuck Schumer, all friends of Wall Street, friends of big tech. These guys won't even endorse Mamdani. Like, are they the leaders the Democratic Party need at this moment?
They are the absolute antithesis of what the Democratic Party needs right now. And I hate to say that. But these guys are on such the wrong route for what we need. We have an antidote to this populist message. We finally have the left's version of how we do this and help people, and we do it for everybody. We don't exclude anybody. Even MAGA, you're welcome to come. We're talking to you. These are your politics. These are your issues that you need to have dealt with, and we hear that, and we're actually going to do it.
Yeah. Young men are flocking to him, which Democrats struggle with.
Yes, I mean, so
he's leading with Jewish voters too, despite all the propaganda.
What is it
that they won't endorse him?
Why, Chuck Schumer? Why are you doing this? Hakeem Jeffries, why are you doing this? You are.
Do you think it's the donors?
It's the donor class
and their own cowardice.
Once the Democrats became, well, it started with Citizens United. You talk to any politician, they'll tell you they spend 3/4 of their time on the phone. They hate fundraising. They hate it. And they spend all of their time on the phone raising funds, okay? And it's not like us when we give our money. We give our $2,000. We're not calling them every day like, what the hell are you doing? These people throw in their $1 million, $500,000, $100,000 into a pack, and they own that. They got Chuck Schumer's cell phone, okay? Yeah. They own it.
His flip phone.
His flip phone.
The leader of the Democrats doesn't have a smartphone.
I think the world's just left that behind now. You know, Chuck is a sweet guy, and I've known him for a long time, and he's done good things.
But it's time for him to go.
But they're not up to the moment.
They're not up to the moment. That's the key point. We're not facing fascism.
We are facing fascism, and they're acting like this is just another.
I gotta write a sternly worded letter.
Sternly worded letter. Ah!
Yeah, they need the Hulk. They need the fucking Hulk.
They need something.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. And AIPAC.
Forget the Hulk. Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner would do it.
Listen to Bruce.
Even mild-mannered Bruce would be a tougher.
I saw Richie Torres on Adam.
Adam Friedland.
Friedland.
Yeah.
Adam Friedland. I love this kid.
Great.
I watched him on there, and I'm watching a guy who, like, I know he has a core.
Yeah.
Like, I know he suffered. I know he came up. But what happens to you is you get bought little by little, especially when you come up from nothing.
Yeah.
You really appreciate the people who help you. You're taught that as an ethos.
You feel you can't break with them.
Yes, you internalize their narrative.
Yeah.
Because they were there when no one else was.
Yeah. Even if that means you end up apologizing for the killing and maiming of children.
Yes. Even if that means you apologize for the killing and maiming.
Sociopath.
It is so hard to keep your moral integrity once you start taking the money. Once you make those little fudges, the distance it takes for you to return back to your moral center is quadruple the distance you walked away from it. I just think it becomes very, very hard.
Yes. And we're seeing it in real time.
We're seeing it in real time. We need people to be grounded in their moral integrity right now, because that's where credibility is.
And history will judge us.
History is judging. History is judging us.
Is judging us. So let me ask you this. It's not just politicians. It's people in your industry. It's celebrities. It's people in public life. It's people in big law. It's people in big tech. It's artists. Everyone is being held to account right now, being asked, where are you? I mean, Miss Rachel, who's also sat in that seat when I interviewed her,
love her.
Wonderful. She's been very outspoken in saying, we're going to remember who was silent.
Where are you? Where the fuck are you?
And I think that's going to be a big question for a lot of people. Before we get to those people, again, just a background question for you. A lot of people watch. I've interviewed before. We've talked about Gaza before, you and I. But for people who don't know your own journey, you're not someone who woke up on October the 8th and said, what's this Middle East issue? I need to research and find out where to stand. You've been involved in this struggle for a while. How did you get involved in Palestine activism, support for the Palestinian struggle?
It probably started around the Iraq War. And I started to ask myself, like, what is happening in that region? You know, and who is, what's creating this tension? And then I just started to think of this issue. What is going on in Palestine? What is that story? What's really going on? I mean, these people, to have so strong a resistance to something, you have to have an oppressive force to have that kind of resistance. And that's an honest measure.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know what that was. And so I started to listen, started to read, started to listen, started to talk to people, started to break down this system of ignorance that is constantly being reinforced. I don't know. I've never seen such a propaganda machine that has been so delicately manufactured, that has made people so ignorant. And I was one of those people.
So you're researching this. You're talking to people. There are lights going off. You're like, what the hell?
Yes.
Why was I never told this?
Yes, it's a lot of it is just feeling. I just was feeling that these people had this sweetness and this integrity and this righteousness that was undeniable and transcended ideology. It was real, you know? It came from something real. And then, of course, I started to see the asymmetrical just crushing of any kind of movement. But, you know, and then it was escalating.
Yeah.
Starting in 2014, you know? And then I spoke out on social media, and I got attacked in a way that I did not think was possible, and was being called an anti-Semite, was being stopped on the street from Israeli women asking me with their phone in my face, why are you an anti-Semite?
What do you do in that situation?
I said, why do you say I'm an anti-Semite? Why do you say I'm an anti-Semite? Because you're supporting the Palestinians.
It's that simple.
I was like, well, I'm an anti-Semite because I'm supporting the Palestinians. I should support the Israeli people too. You know, I'm a humanist. Okay, what's happening there is inhumane.
Yeah,
and that's it. So if you think that's anti-Semitic, I find it incredibly. My teacher, Stella Adler, was a hardcore Jewish woman from Odessa. Okay, that's where I learned my art form. Okay, it's that Talmudic approach to life that makes me say this is wrong.
Yeah,
but to be called an anti-Semite after
it can be career ending, especially in
what
your
we
industry.
learned growing up about the Holocaust, that genocide, what we all know to be so ugly, right?
Yeah,
it's the worst thing to be called an anti-Semite,
especially in Hollywood.
Anywhere.
No, but in Hollywood, it's career ending.
I mean,
we've seen what's happened to Melissa
it's not
Barrera.
career ending.
Well, for some people.
Yeah, for some people it is.
And some people, I mean, I spoke to John Legend about this.
Yeah.
And I said, look, aren't you worried about being cancelled? Like, people are worried. People are worried about being, and he goes, look, I'm in a position, luckily, where I don't need to worry about that. But a lot of people, he said, tell him that they are. They keep quiet.
Yes,
do you have that issue? Where people tell you, I would love to speak out like you, Mark.
Yes.
But I won't get another role again.
Yes. There's that fear. It's dropping now, and I'm seeing more and more people speaking out.
Just to remind everyone at home, you just signed a letter, 1,300 people,
That's right.
Film Workers for Palestine.
That's right.
Which is saying we will not allow our work and our art to be used as in any kind of
whitewash,
complicity.
to be complicit, to whitewash apartheid, or to profit off apartheid or genocide.
And Emma Stone and Ava DuVernay, Olivia Colman, some big names in there.
Yes, very big names.
That list probably wouldn't have been that long a few years ago. It's getting bigger.
No way. They've been trying to do this for 20 years. You know, this is not new.
You got pressure in 2021. I remember this because you and I were talking at the time. That people forget Israel bombed Gaza in 2021. It was a much briefer issue. And you said the G word back then, genocide.
Yes.
People went nuts.
They went nuts.
And you came out and apologized and said the language was not right. Today, I assume you don't recall from the G word.
Not at all. This is absolutely a genocide. We have the
consensus
the majority of scholars.
Yeah.
Who,
Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, all of them.
B'Tselem.
Yep.
B'Tselem within Israel.
Genocide.
Probably, yes, genocide.
But people still throw the anti-Semitic label around, even now, just to completely empty it all meaning.
It's the Hasbara. It's part of that system of oppressing thought, oppressing free speech, oppressing the need to know, oppressing knowledge. That is a system that's been developed by Israel. And not just Israel, but enablers. And I understand why. I understand why. I mean, I understand this need after coming out of the Holocaust to protect yourself, you know? I understand it, okay? But you can't steal another people's nation from them.
Unless you have great propaganda like a land without a people for a people without a land.
And expect that to go well. That's like planting a seed of hatred and deceit and expecting it to flower with oranges.
It's not going to happen.
It's just not going to happen. And what's that Zola quote? If you take the truth and you bury it, put it in a box and bury it in the ground, it can't help but explode one day.
It's exploding right now.
It's exploding.
Do you feel hopeful? I mean, people are dying in huge numbers. It's
How
horrific.
do you feel hopeful?
But that's my question to
I'm not feeling hopeful. It's heartbreaking, man. And why people have signed that thing now. Someone called me yesterday and said, did you see that the Israelis' response to this and how it's going to hurt and how filmmaking should transcend this? I was like, 100%, man. But we are in drastic times. This is a genocide, okay?
Child killed
this
every
is a
hour.
famine, a genocide, ethnic cleansing, human immigration. I mean, they're pushing people off their land. This is do or die now, and we might have to take drastic measures. This is not a drastic measure. All we're saying, we're still allowed to work with anyone we want to. You know, all we're saying is the institutions and the people and the production companies that are actually profiting from this and who are whitewashing it and propagating it, we will not work with. And that's the least. But you know what I really hope it does, Mehdi? I hope it opens up other industries to the same exact thing. Boycott, divest, sanction, and prosecute. That's the only thing that's going to stop this. We have to hit them economically because we've tried everything else. All those Israeli filmmakers that they're talking about who have told good stories, who have tried to tell the Palestinian experience, what has it done?
Yeah. One thing that bothers me is everything has to be done in tribal ways. It's like you're pro this, you're pro that, you're this team, you're that team. As Miss Rachel has said, why can't you just care about kids being killed?
That's, if we took care of the kids, not just there, but everywhere, if we focused on what their needs were, and we met those needs, the world would be a fucking heaven.
Yeah.
It would be heavenly.
Just that baseline.
Just that baseline. But look what we're doing here in the United States. We're letting the kids get mowed down because of some crazy idea that we need weapons of war. To what? What are you going to do? You're going to fight the American government?
I know, it's insane.
What are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do with your weapons of war? You're going to kill other Americans is what you're going to do.
Is what's happening.
I met with some of the people whose families were killed on October 7th.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, in Israel, okay.
My heart breaks for those kids to live through that, okay? I've always felt this way. But it's asymmetrical, you know? Like, how many thousands of people have to die in order to have retribution for that, you know? And it is retribution because their own leaders speak about it in the terms of retribution. The quote, you know what's a quaint idea is eye for an eye.
Yeah. That's
quaint.
It's biblical.
Eye for an eye. I wish it was eye for an eye.
Yeah. It's 50,000 eyes for one eye.
Yeah. I mean, that's a naive eye for an eye.
Yeah.
That's a naive. That's a naive.
But I guess that's what happens
notion.
when you devalue Palestinian life. It doesn't matter.
They've been look, who are we even hearing from in Palestine?
Yeah.
When you turn on the television, you hear the Palestinians speaking on their own behalf. I mean, here you and I are talking about them, you know?
Yeah. I mean, when I was at MSNBC, I went out on my way to platform Palestinian Voices, but most hosts don't.
They
right?
don't.
Most hosts go, let's just get the IDF spokesman on. Like, and the studies have been done. The Sunday shows are filled with Israeli guests, Israeli military officials, members of Congress, no Palestinian voices on our Sunday morning shows.
It's a travesty.
So that then leads me to a question that might make you uncomfortable, but I'm going to ask it anyways. One of the Sunday shows is owned by ABC. Disney's owned by ABC. You do shows for Disney. Have you had pressure from on high to, Mark, shut the fuck up about this. Just keep your head down.
Never.
You promote Avengers, don't talk about Gaza.
Never.
No one's come to you.
Never. I've had other people's on smaller ways.
Yeah, like people in the industry say, hey, it's good for your career if you shut up.
Yeah, or you don't know what you're talking about. Palestine, it was never Palestine. The Palestinian people aren't a people. Here's a tweet of a book from the 1500s that shows that Palestine never existed in this map. The thing looks like someone made it in a copy machine. I mean,
have you lost friends?
Craziest. I'm telling you, the people who I've thought were smart,
yeah,
who've been friends of mine.
That's what I was going to ask.
I can't talk to them anymore They're either trying to convince me that the Palestinian people are all terrorists and they all deserve to die, or in the same breath will tell me that they're actually human shields and they deserve to die because they're human shields. Okay?
These are people who were friends of yours pre-October 7th.
People who I thought were friends of mine.
And they're not anymore.
No. I can't relate to them. And I have people who, after October 7th, I understand why Jewish people, that was so upsetting. I get it, you know, and I understand that they feel that there has to be security. Mostly they don't consider the Palestinians or their story. They don't know much about it. I love these people. And at this point, we don't even talk about it anymore.
What do you make of, so we have people, I'm sure in Hollywood, just like I have people in my industry and my community and friends, the people who are like defending this genocide still, which is insane. You can't be friends with such people at this point. Then you have people like you who are speaking out, signing letters. What about most of the people who are in the middle? What about your friends and colleagues who you do movies with who just say nothing? How do you try and educate them? Do you proactively, as Mark Ruffalo, like on set, be like, "Hey guys, I'm doing this letter. Do you want to sign?" Or do you just be like, "That guy, he's that political"?
I've tried in other ways to kind of platform people because, you know, some people just, a lot of actors just aren't political.
Yes.
As their kind of ethos.
Although a lot are political on a lot of issues, just not this one.
Yes, exactly. And a lot of them feel pressured. I mean, there's a lot of pressure. And it's not just the industry, it's family members, it's friends, you know. It's taken people a long time to get where we are here today. They know now. There's no denying what's happening. Unless you are so ideologically sort of tied up.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing people who were much more militantly for this starting to soften.
Yeah.
Because how do you not? I mean, how do you
defend the famine?
How do you not?
Yeah.
And how can you say that so many people are lying? Like, how big of a conspiracy would it have to be for 80, 90% of the world?
Yeah. All the human rights groups.
All the human rights groups.
My favorite one is Cindy McCain. Like, John McCain's widow is Hamas. Okay.
How insane do you have to be to actually believe that?
I did an event in Toronto last year, Mark, where I did a debate on anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism. And when I mentioned Oxfam, the crowd booed. The pro-Israel people booed Oxfam. And that's where you get to. We're almost out of time. I got to ask, quick question. Yeah. Kamala Harris is on a rehabilitation tour. She's got a memoir coming out. She got Extract in the Atlantic, talking about how Biden wouldn't let her, create daylight. Do you believe that the Gaza issue cost Harris and the Democrats the election last year? Listen, played a role?
I was in Michigan as a surrogate, speaking to the Arab communities because they thought, oh, well, Mark will be able to speak. Let's throw Mark Ruffalo in there. They were not having it. They just weren't having it. Now, it's sad because some of the thinking was it can't get any worse.
Yeah,
and
it has.
It has.
But some of the thinking was just, I cannot bring myself to vote for someone who
my family was wiped out.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of Democrats don't understand.
Tell me how I'm supposed to vote for this.
Yeah.
And I'm one day we'll get into it, but I was speaking to the NSC. I had a group of actors. We were interfacing with the NSC for months and months and months. And the line of bullshit that we were fed. I have all of the emails.
Feel free to publish them.
The line of bullshit, and that was coming from Blinken and Miller and Jake Sullivan. Those guys are now on this rehabilitation tour, and they are war criminals. Those guys, they designed this. They created whatever structure Trump is using now. They created it.
Before we go, 5 years ago, you and I were talking on the eve of the 2020 election, and I asked you about the Trump presidency, and you said, I remember we were live on air, and you said, I wouldn't fucking believe it if somebody gave me a script and you kind of threw it behind you. It went viral that moment, I remember. Because you and I were talking about how unbelievable it was. And again, can't get any more unbelievable. Since we did that interview, Donald Trump incited an insurrection, lost the election, went into private life, was supposedly finished, got prosecuted, got found liable for sexual abuse in a civil trial in New York, and then came back and became president again, and now is doing all this shit again. Again, if somebody gave, same question. If somebody put the script in front of you now saying, this is what's happened, this is the movie.
I'd quit
this is
the business. I'd be like, worst song. This business is so
unrealistic.
It's so unrealistic now. But it's beyond fiction now. It's beyond fiction. And we don't know where it's, you know what though? I believe with every difficulty, there's a gift inherent in it. And with every action, there's a reaction, equal reaction. Just like we came out of last Trump and we had probably one of the most progressive presidents. I mean, you know,
on domestic terms.
Yes, on domestic terms, Biden was probably one of the most, since FDR probably. He didn't do a good job of communicating that. None of them did. They ran away from their progressive credentials, you know. They did some fucked up shit on climate, you know. But that's in the offing. If we can save our democracy, we will have a revitalization, reimagination of democracy, and we're seeing it happening with all these little, you know, these candidates coming up who are connecting to people.
The Mumdanis, not the Jeffreys.
Yes.
Mark, it's been an absolute pleasure. Let our viewers, listeners know where they can catch Task.
Task is on HBO right now, HBO Max, and we're putting out a new episode every week. So if you want to really have a show that has a pulse and to make your heart sing and you make your heart cry, check us out.
By the way, let people know who is the antagonist. Who is the other brilliant actor?
Tom Pelphrey.
Amazing.
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 He's the best thing in the show. He really is.
He is a fantastic
He's
actor.
the best thing in the show.
Mark, it's been an absolute pleasure. We must not leave a 5-year gap before the next interview.
We won't. Now that we've done it.
Now that you see that I don't grill you.
I've been scared.
You've been scared. My reputation.
You haven't seen me. No, I just haven't been on. I haven't been doing a lot of political.
Well, your voice is absolutely essential, and we appreciate your voice. I've always loved your voice, both as a fan and a friend.
Thanks,
and I appreciate you
too.
coming and supporting us and watching We're Not Kidding. Make sure you like, subscribe to We're Not Kidding wherever you get your podcast. Make sure you head over to zeteo.com, become a subscriber, like Mark is a subscriber, support independent journalism in this fascistic moment where the mainstream media are letting us down. But for now, from me, I'm Mehdi Hassan.
And I'm Mark Ruffalo.
And we were not kidding.